Good afternoon, Holmes Road Church of Christ. I hope you're having a great Wednesday, and the Lord hope you're having a great week, and I hope to see you on Sunday. Do you guys like to hike? We really enjoy hiking. Me and my family hike as often as we can. We enjoy going on long hikes. I've hiked every inch of the Grand River Trail here in Lansing. Even, it forks off. The Grand River Trail here in Lansing, it forks off at one branch of it. When you get to the north of it, one goes to MSU and the other goes downtown. And I've done both trails, and we've hiked several parks around here in Michigan. We've pretty much hiked all the trails we can here in the Lansing area. Me and my family, we used to hike the trails into Mexico in the woods up there, and we when we lived over there, we hiked all over the place there. Hiking is a great activity. It's good exercise. You get to see a lot of God's wonderful nature. There's not a lot of distractions around like TVs and things to keep you from interacting with each other. So we enjoy hiking. Someday, I would like to take about 5 months out of my life and hike the Appalachian Trail. I think that would be a lot of fun. The Appalachian Trail is a 2,180-mile foot-long path that goes through the Appalachian Mountains. It starts up in Maine and goes all the way down to Springer Mountain in Georgia. If you were to do the Appalachian Trail, you would go through, start in Maine, you go through New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and finally ending up in Georgia. The Appalachian Trail would be an amazing thing to do. I mean, it would take a very long time out of my life, which is why I've never done it now. It would just take way too much time. But maybe when I retire or something, that'd be a lot of fun to do. But maybe a more doable hiking trail is the John Muir Trail. If you're familiar with this, the John Muir Trail passes through what many backpackers say is the finest mountain scenery in all of the United States of America. It's a trail that goes through 13 and 14,000 foot mountain peaks. You go through valleys and you see thousands of lakes and canyons and granite cliffs. The John Muir Trail is known as the land that's blessed with the mildest, sunniest climate of any mountain range in the entire world. And so it's very hikeable. It's a nice trail. The trail is not near as long as the Appalachian Trail. It's about 211 miles long. It's all in the state of California. The trail starts at Yosemite National Park and goes for about 211 miles. Goes through the Ansel Adams Wilderness, Sequoia National Park, Kings Canyon National Park, and ends finally at the very end of the trail. It ends at the highest peak in the continental United States at the top of Mount Whitney, about 15,000 feet high. But most people do that trail who do it all the way through. They do it about 3 to 4 weeks. So that's a little more reasonable than the Appalachian Trail, which could take you 5 months. But many people have dreams of hiking these trails. If you're into hiking, if people who like to hike have dreamt about doing these trails. And I think it'd be awesome to do someday. But the reason why so many people fail to do these trails, and they may start out, thousands of people every year start out to try to do these trails and fail. And the reason they fail is because it's a very tough balancing act that must be done in terms of your provisions. If you were going to do one of these hiking trails, what would you take with you? How much food would you take? What supplies would you carry with you? That non-food supplies would you carry? And that issue right there is why most people fail to finish those trails when they start. Because if you take too little food with you, then you don't have enough energy or nutrition to make it through all the creeks and around the lakes and the woods and up and over all the mountains, encompassing the 47,000 feet of elevation changes you're going to be going through. So you have to take enough food to get you through all that. But too much food, and you burden yourself down with so much weight that you tire yourself out carrying all your supplies. Because you got to remember, you also got to take along with you waterproof boots and tents and other needing camping supplies, bug spray, these kinds of first aid kits, all these kinds of things you're going to need on a hiking trail. So carrying the right amount of supplies is critical. Too much, and you'll run out of strength and carry it all. Too little, and you won't have enough to finish the journey. You won't have enough to give you strength through the journey. That same kind of concept of supplies for your hiking, that same concept can be said of our Christianity as well. Christians are called by God to consider daily the same kind of balancing act in our daily lives. We as Christians are called to finish this life well. Finish the journey. Finishing well on our journey as believers in Jesus requires a lot of consideration of what we bring along with us in this life. In Hebrews chapter 12, and looking at verses 1 through 3, the Hebrew writer said, we're instructed by him. He says, throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. The author compares our lives to a race that's marked out before us, one in which we must not grow weary and lose heart. To become overburdened with sin or distracted by the things outside of God's purpose for us is to carry a bunch of unnecessary weight with us in our daily life. If we were to carry with us sin and these distractions that the world carries with us, it just tires us out in our Christian walk, and we're not going to be able to complete the journey. And if we do too much, if we get so much into God that He's our entire focus, we forget about life. We forget that we're called to reach people. We can't just be like monks and hide and do nothing but spiritual things all the time. So there's a great balancing act there. If you were to get online and you were going to hike the John Muir Trail or the Appalachian Trail, you'll find suggested packing lists from people who have succeeded. You'll find certain amounts of miles per day from people who've already gone through it and have done it. And they're going to show you how to be successful. And so you can emulate them because they've already done it and they were successful. And you can see what they took and how much they ate per day and things of that nature. And you can see how they were successful. In the same way, God has provided us directions on how to successfully navigate through life. How to successfully navigate that balancing act of following Jesus Christ. And we have it in our Bibles. The Bible is that. It is our instruction on how to get through this life, balancing everything we need to in this life. We can know what habits and dreams and desires are worth bringing along with us in our walk by examining them in the light of Scriptures. So I want to encourage you to be in God's Word so you can successfully navigate this hike through life. When we travel light, as Hebrews 12 says, then we'll be able to finish the race well. And that's my lesson for you today. That's my lesson for you this Wednesday. I hope you have a great day in the Lord and see you soon. Bye-bye.